I'm not going past Central Park or every park and then shop. People are out. But they're doing the right thing. They're in their little areas. You've got that little table set up. Have a city here.
I'm not on. Am I supposed to be healing that? Let's have a look. Stop video.
Nachos. Nachi chinos.
Yeah, sure they do.
Huh?
Are you on mute?
Huh?
Are you on mute?
I'm on Zoom.
Are you on mute?
No, can't hear it at the moment. Yeah. Just putting it there. No.
Welcome. Thank you all so much for coming this afternoon. I'm really hoping, oops, hang on. I've just got to find that thing that's hiding behind there. Hold on. Oh, hang on. Sorry. I'm not very good at this bit. Hang on. Sorry. Right. We'll try again. Hopefully it doesn't come on. All right, so welcome today to my kitchen. I am in Hughesdale. My name is Mandy, if you haven't met me before. I am team leader for the amazing multicultural mixers. We are very lucky today. We have a guest presenter, Kelly, who is my neighbour. And if you're on my Facebook group, you will have seen us making cocktails together on a couple of Friday nights. So anyway, she's jumped on board to give us a hand today. And the whole team are going, come on, Kelly, join the team. And of course, we'd love to have her. But, you know, I know she's a busy lady. I did notice from the registration today that we've got people who don't have a Thermomix right up to people who have a TM6 and everything in between. So if you're a TM31 or a TM5 owner and you haven't seen the TM6 before, I'll tell you what, it will blow your mind. I'm sure you love your current models, but this is a step up again. If you haven't seen a Thermomix before, you're in the right place. We're going to take you on a little bit of a tour. Today's class is actually focusing on the steaming element of the Thermomix, and you're going to see how we can use that in different ways and the sorts of different dishes that you can make in it. You're also going to see how we run our businesses from our kitchens and how easy it is for us. So those of us that are cooking today, as well as doing this for you guys, we are also cooking dinner for our family. So it's really simple, really safe, easy way to create some income. And if that's of interest to you, then please let us know. Pop on at the end or whatever, and let us know. We have various things happening in the next. We've got a very exciting date on Wednesday. You need to talk to your consultant about that. But a really special offer coming out on Wednesday, which you won't want to miss. And apart from that, I think we might. We're going to show you some recipes from Cookie Do. So Cookie Do is like Netflix for Thermomix. It is our recipe platform, and I'll show you a little bit more of that later on. So without further ado, we are going over to Irene, because you should always start with dessert, shouldn't you?
Of course you should. No argument from me. I am making sticky toffee puddings. I've never made these before. One of the problems with just having me and mum is there's only so much dessert you can have. So I'll end up eating all of these. So luckily I've talked my niece into coming to collect some. So she can take it all today. Okay, so sticky toffee puddings to start. The beginning of the recipe asks you to basically soak your dates in some boiling water with a little bit of bicarb soda. I've already done that just to hurry the process along. They need to soak for about 20 minutes. So about 150 grams of dates, pitted dates, about 1.5 teaspoons of bicarb soda, 180 grams of water, which you basically cook for 4 minutes, and then pour into a container with the dates to soak. And then prepare your Dario molds. Now, it's asking you to grease 8 metal Dario molds. I don't have metal Dario molds. On our mix shop, we also have some plastic ones. Silicone, to be honest. That's the ones I've got. I've had these forever and a day. So I think these are D-line ones. They fit into your Thermomix. The recipe calls for 8, so I've got 8 ready to go. I've actually sprayed those with a little bit of non-stick spray. Just use some olive oil spray, whatever you've got really. And they're ready to go. Now you can use ceramic Dario molds. So if you've got some ceramic ones, just note with the ceramic ones, they take a longer time to cook because it needs to heat that ceramic as well. So you could add 5 or even 10 minutes to your cooking time. The next part of the recipe asks for 60 grams of unsalted butter. It asks for 60 grams of a brown sugar, 75 grams of golden syrup or honey. I've got some golden syrup. I'm just going to pop now.
Good handwork out there, Irene.
75 grams, spot on. I've had a bit of practice, Mandy. 40 grams of full cream milk. I think I got more on the bench than in the bowl. Clean that up. Second. Next. It's also asking for some vanilla. I think it's asking for a 1/4 teaspoon of natural vanilla extract. I've just used some vanilla bean paste. Just use what you've got. We're going to mix that for 7 minutes. We're going to cook it out. 7 minutes, 100 degrees on speed 2. So over to you, Maddie.
We're actually over to Pearl next.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, I'll put it. I thought you may want to.
Oh, actually, before you go, you can also get these molds from the mix shop that actually fit in your Varoma. So this one goes in the bottom section, and that goes in the top. They're a little bit, they're going to be a little bit different to your to the molds that Irene's using, a little bit size-wise, but they are available in the mix shop if you want something like that. They're great for, there's a whole lot of puddings and things you can make in your Varoma, and they're really good for that. There's a question for you, Irene. Can you swap the sugar for honey or something a little healthier?
Absolutely, and you can even probably use, if you want to cut out the sugar entirely, you can use monk fruit sweetener. So obviously a 0 calorie, it's one of those 0 calorie sugars. You can use that. In terms of the flavor though, you want to get that molasses. So you definitely want to put in, I would definitely use use maple syrup, the golden syrup. You need to use at least some of this just to give you that molasses flavor. You won't get that from the monk fruit sweetener.
Okay, over to you, Paul.
Hi everyone, and welcome to my kitchen in Dandenong. Today I'm going to make mussels. the recipe here. Now I have, make sure that you clean your mussels well and beard them. That's what I have done. And I have put in underneath my butterfly so that it will create a gap so that the steam comes in. So I've got this here ready. And let me go to the recipe that's here. It's in cookie dough. Mussels, anything that says spicy attracts me. So that's why I'm making this in spicy tomato sauce. Start cooking. 120 grams of onion. Just put this onion here. I've just got one brown onion chopped. Next, 1 clove of garlic, it says. I've got 4 cloves of garlic because I like a little bit of garlic in mine. Insert measuring cup. Next, for 4 seconds on speed 5. Next. Some olive oil. Half teaspoon, it says, of either ground cayenne pepper or chili. So I've got both, and I've got 1 teaspoon of chili powder, which I'm putting there. Next, insert my chili.
This is one of the great things. What Pearl's doing is fantastic because she's altering as to how she wants it.
Yes.
Adding in the extras, adding in the extra garlic, adding in the chili and whatever it was. Just as much spice as possible, hey, Pearl?
Yeah, true. And you can adjust your spice. You can do as much you want it without any spice as well. You can do it. It's altered to the taste. So you can come back to me later.
Yep. All right. So very big welcome to Kelly, who is, it's not really her debut because as we said before, we've been doing the cocktails on a Friday night. But yeah, Kelly is helping us out today. So thank you so much, Kelly.
Thanks, Mandy, and welcome to my kitchen. I'm in Hughesdale, just across the road from Mandy. So today I'm going to cook a easy satay chicken, and we'll just follow the steps. This is a favourite in my house, so my family were pretty happy to hear that we're having this again for dinner tonight. So I'm going to start the cooking. There's a whole lot of spices that go into this one and fresh spices. What I've done is I've just accumulated those into a bowl, and I'll pop these in as we go through, but I'll talk through with you what I'm putting in. So I've got 1/2 teaspoon of fennel seeds, 1/2 teaspoon of cumin seeds, 1 teaspoon of coriander seeds, a tablespoon of ground turmeric, and we'll pop all of those in now. It just says insert the measuring cup into the mixing bowl, which we'll do. And we've got 30 seconds at speed 10, so we're grinding all of those up. Okay, that's the milling done. So we're at the process of making the satay sauce to go on the chicken. We now need to add some fresh ginger peels, 2 centimetres, 5 garlic cloves. I had a couple of really big garlic cloves and then a few small ones, so I'm not going to overpower this one. And then 1 to 2 fresh chilies. As Mandy knows, I do a lot of my online shopping, grocery shopping online. Quite often have a few mistakes. So I accidentally received 2 large boxes of red chili. So I've had mine in the freezer, but pulled it out and popped it in today's recipe, and they work fine. So it's just a matter of adapting. But Mandy's been accustomed to receiving like a bag of potatoes because I've ordered 5 bags of potatoes rather than 5 potatoes. So it's a bit of fun. Thanks, Cole. I'm going to chuck all of those into the bowl right now.
It's a very caring, sharing thing.
Absolutely. Another 30 seconds from me in just chopping all of these up at speed 7.
So whilst that's happening, I'm just going to tell you a funny story. So Kelly is, as she said, she lives over the road from me, and very, very kindly looks after our dog when we go away. And I think the very first time she had Marley, I took over a few things I'd made in my Thermomix as a thank you, and one of them was the peanut butter. And I know it got put in the fridge or something and forgotten about for a while. Then a few months later, she said, one of the boys had said to her, came racing up to me when I went to their house and said, Marley's mum, how do you make your peanut butter? And you know, converted. And Hugo's made the peanut butter, hasn't he?
Yeah, so my 12-year-old quite often gets in and makes peanut butter. I'm just being asked to scrape down the bowl now, which is what I'm up to. And today's recipe calls for peanut butter as well. Another little story, we did run out of peanuts and peanut butter, and my husband went and bought a jar of store-bought peanut butter, nowhere near as good. But I'm happy to use that in the cooking, which we will today. But first up, to add to our satay, once again, I've combined all of the, all of the sauces. So we've got 2 tablespoons of tamari, 1 tablespoon of tamarind paste, 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce, 1 tablespoon, sorry, that's the all of the sauces. We're going to pop that in now. And then we're also being asked for a tablespoon of dark brown sugar. I had brown sugar in my house, so that will do us. We're going to pop that in now. Followed by 270 grams of coconut cream. So I'm just going to tear this one last time, back to 0, 270 grams. I love the accuracy of the TM6, gram by gram, as opposed to the TM5. And 60 grams of peanut butter. As I said, I'm trying to use up the store-bought one, not the favorite in our house. So we'll pop that in today. 60 grams of that. A little bit more. And there we go, close enough. Okay, insert the measuring cup again. And Mandy, I'm down to 3 minutes of cooking of the satay sauce.
Perfect. So we'll come to me quickly and I'll just get mine going. All right, so I'm making something which I am really excited about. I couldn't believe it when I found this recipe on Cookie.do, and I think, no, everyone else thinks I'm crazy, but I just love this recipe. And what it is, it's called pepper heads, chicken, eggs, and salmon. And what I'm going to do with it, I'm going to actually do what it says. But what I love about it is 0 waste, and that is something that's really important to me. What I'm going to, once I've done this, so I'm basically going to cook some eggs, some chicken and some salmon, and I'm going to end up with a chicken stock. I can use my stock in a soup, and I'm going to use the other bits in a couple other recipes that I'm adding on at the end. I was blown away when I found this recipe. And as I said, I might be on my own, but I absolutely love it. And I think it's a great one to share because you can prep stuff ahead and use it another time. All right, but before we actually start, I'm just going to quickly run over the basics of steaming. So when you are steaming, you always need to have 500 grams of water in your bowl, a minimum of 500 grams of water in your bowl or stock. And you steam for 30 minutes for aroma temperature, speed 1. Okay, and the time depends on whatever you're steaming, so according to the recipe. If the steaming time in the recipe is more than 30 minutes, you need to add an extra 250 grams of water or stock for each extra 15 minutes. Now, all this information is actually in your basic cookbook. And next weekend, we are doing a recipe conversion class, and we'll be going through all of that sort of stuff then as well. But if you're interested in converting your own recipes, and we do have Cookie Dough 3.0 coming out in November, then that will be a great, so sorry, I'll explain a little more about Cookie Dough 3.0 when I get on to show you Cookie Dough. I better get cooking, otherwise we'll be here forever. All right, so I'm coming up to, this is the screen of my Thermomix. Just very quickly for anyone on here who doesn't have one, we've got time, temperature and speed. Whichever one of these is large, we turn up with our silver knob. So our time is there, our temperature, everything up to 120 is on a thermostat. Like your heating, it will go up and click off. If you are steaming, as I just mentioned, it needs to be on Varoma temperature. Okay, that's our speed. That just shows that our blades are chopping. That shows that they're stirring. Then if I swipe this way, I get a whole lot of different functions. I've got my scales in here. You've seen the scales being used. We've got turbo, which is super fast for cleaning off your blades. A pre-clean, absolutely amazing. The egg boiler. Now, I am going to cook some eggs in my recipe. If I was just doing the eggs, this is what I do in the morning, put some eggs on. So with the egg boiler, you basically pop some eggs in here and a litre of water, and you turn it how you like them. I put it on medium hard. We go out and walk the dog, come back, and our eggs are ready for brekkie. That's how we like them anyway. And we've got a few other modes in there. Most of those modes I would use in guided cooking, but again, we're going to talk a bit more about those modes next weekend. All right, so come back to my home screen, and then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to go to my week where I have actually stored the recipes that we're making today. So I've got doing the prep ahead, layered chicken, eggs, and salmon. Start cooking. Okay, now I've just taken my lid off, so that means my scales have gone to minus something. Really important that you get them back to zero, otherwise you have no idea where you are. I'm going to pop in some brown onion. I've got one big fat garlic clove, and I'm going to pop the lid on as it's asked me to. And when I turn on, it's going to actually lock the lid in place. And if the lid can't lock in place with these arms, it won't start. Okay, then I'm just going to add 800 grams of water. So again, I've got to zero that. Okie doke. Then I'm going to put in some chicken stock paste. Excuse my really scrappy label, but this is chicken stock paste that I've made in the Thermomix. It is absolutely delicious. I make the chicken stock and I make the vegetable stock. So I'm popping that in and that in. So tablespoons. Now, I've got the onion and the garlic in there. I do have some herbs as well, which I'm going to chuck in. So this is going to make my stock, which I can then use in a soup. If I was going to make an Asian style soup, I'd put different things in there. I might put some chili, I might put some lemongrass, other flavorings. Then I've got the simmering basket, which I have already put my chicken into. So my chicken is just cut, the chicken thighs, just cut up there, and that's going to sit in there. It's asking me to weigh in, but I've done that already. Season with sea salt, that's all done. Then I pop my lid on here. I'll just move it back so you can see. I'm popping the Varoma on. Now, with the Varoma, it's telling me to put 8 eggs in the base of the Varoma. Now, there's only 2 of us, and I'm going to use this in a meal for tonight. And I'm just putting 2 eggs in. But what I'm also adding in there, because of what I'm making later, I've got some beans in there. So they are going on there. So that's my eggs. So again, it's being versatile. And then it says insert the Varoma tray. And what I'm using on here is, this is a little tray you can get in the mix shop, which will just sit on here, and it just means that the salmon doesn't drip down, because otherwise I'm going to get a mixture of flavors. I'm going to get the salmon and the chicken all mixing up in the stock, and I'd rather just have the stock. If you don't have one of these, parchment paper, particularly parchment paper, because that is compostable, Your normal baking paper is not compostable. Wet it, scrunch it up, and then just line the tray with that so that you don't get the salmon juices dripping down. Okay, so I'm just putting all that on there like that. Okay, and then secure the Varoma lid, and that's going to cook for 15 minutes on speed 2. And we're going to move back to Kelly briefly, but just so you know, I will be checking something in that time. But basically, that's it. Thanks, Kelly.
Thanks, Mandy. Okay, so my sauce has the satay sauce has just finished cooking. I need to keep my measuring cup in, but mix this sauce up for 30 seconds. So it's asking me to turn it around to speed 10, which will do that.
Irene just said it was a very nice jug.
Oh, yes. So this is just from the mix shop, which we use generally for gravy, and it keeps it really nice and warm. Fantastic.
Yeah, so it is a thermal jug, which is
amazing. It is. It's a little lid that sits quite nicely on it. Yeah. Okay, so next it says transfer the sauce into a thermal serving bowl or other large bowl, but I'm going to put it into my, my jug today. And as I said, that'll keep the satay sauce really warm while we work through the rest of the recipe. If you can see the colour there, the turmeric has given it a lovely orange colour. And it smells great. So I can really smell the peanut butter working through this one as well. So we'll pop that in there and just to set it aside. Now it says, I'm just going to, got a little bit left in here. What I might do, if you've got 2 bowls, makes it really easy just to switch over to another bowl rather than rinsing one out. So I'm just going to jump to this bowl. So now it says insert the simmering basket and weigh 400 grams of jasmine rice into that. So it should be right here. I have got the bowl weight there. So that was 400 grams. I've weighed that previously. It says remove the simmering basket with the aid of a spatula and quickly rinse that rice under the water until it runs clear. So just excuse me for 1 sec while I rinse this rice.
So the reason that we rinse the rice is so that it doesn't all get gluggy and stick together. It gets rid of some of the starch in there. And I'm jealous already because this is one of our favourite meals.
It is yummy. Okay, so we've got the rinsed rice. Now it's now asking me for 1.2 litres of water. Rather than taking the water straight from the tap, if we use boiling water, then that will reduce 5 minutes off the cooking time. So while Mandy was busy showing us, her recipe have boiled the kettle. So we're going to pop in the 1,200 grams or 1.2 litres of boiling water. There we go. My kettle's just big enough to get that through. Reinsert the simmering basket with the rice. We're going to gently pop in there. Place the Varoma dish into position. So taking the measuring cup lid out, popping the lid on, grabbing the base of the Varoma. I'm just going to place up there. Now into the Varoma dish, we need to weigh in 600 grams of skinless chicken thigh fillets, cut into pieces of between 3 to 4 centimetres. So that's, I've prepared my chicken earlier, all chopped up. I'm just going to pop that in and layer it on the base of the Varoma, but still allowing some of the steam to come through the vents in the Varoma. Okay. I'm going to click the next button. It says secure the Varoma lid, which will pop on there. And then cook for 10 minutes at speed 2. Now, this is where things become a little bit interesting. The first time I cooked this, I did cook it at speed 2 and the rice wasn't cooked and neither was the chicken. So we need to increase that and double it to speed 4 for this one to work. So I'm going to push this round to speed 4. And yeah, we've got, well, 5 minutes because we've reduced the cooking time there, Mandy.
Thanks, Kelly. Off to Irene.
Yes, thanks, Irene.
It's such a delicious dish, Kelly. We're all salivating. Okay, so guys, the sauce is ready. I've transferred it to my little pouring jug. I've given it about another 5 minutes, and then I'm going to pop it in the fridge to cool down. You don't need to wash your jug out, so straight back on to the next part of this dish. So it's asking me to add my soaked dates, including the water. So that's all going in. Then it's asking me for my unsalted butter, my dark brown sugar, plain flour, some baking powder. This is all in this bowl, and an egg. So I'm going to pop all of those in. And then going to mix those for 20 seconds on speed 5. Okay, my mixture is ready to go. So it's asking me to divide that into my molds, which I'll do off camera. But essentially, once that's done, I rinse the mixing bowl. I'm going to add 700 grams of water to the mixing bowl, and then we're going to steam those for roughly half an hour. So back to you, Mandy.
Back to you, Pearl.
Okay. Now I have done the part. Now I'm just asking me to scrub and clean my mussels. That's what I have done. You can also make vegetarian of. For those who don't like mussels, can use any vegetable you want, but make sure you put 200 grams of water and some herbs, whatever you want, into the bowl and cook it. Because with the mussels, you'll get water coming out from the mussels when I'm cooking them. So, yeah. Put some tomatoes. It's telling me to put 200 grams of chopped tomatoes or a can. My can is 400 grams. I'm not going to waste it. I'll put the whole thing there because it won't be 400. When you weigh it, it's about 350 grams. So next, 100 grams of wine. Just 1 second. Yeah, I forgot about the wine. So I'll put 100 grams of wine. Next.
What about the Zoom?
No, I've already spoke to them.
A bit of salt. Now I'm going to place my mussels. And I'll be cooking it for 13 minutes. So they'll be steaming there for 13 minutes. So back to you.
Lovely. Thank you. Back to Kelly. Oh, she's got a minute to go.
I do. I've still got a minute to go.
That's all right. If you like, I can start. I'll start on cookie dough and you let me know when you're ready. Okay?
Absolutely. Sounds good. Sounds good.
All right. Okay. So what I'm going to do is show you cookie dough, so our recipe platform. So this is the recipe platform you get access to with a TM6. Oh, and you automatically get 6 months free when you get your TM6. After that, it is $49 a year. Now, as I mentioned, we have Cookie Dough 3.0 coming for you guys in the middle of next month. For me, I am lucky enough to be trialing it. So let me find here. So what Cookie Do 3.0, I've only got a couple of things in here, by the way, but what it allows you to do is put your own recipes in. Now, that can be recipes that you want to convert that you found in a magazine or a cookbook or something, or it could be recipes that you own. So these are, I don't know if you, probably some of you know Quirky Cooking, Jo Whitten. I've got a couple of her books and I love her cauliflower and leek mash. So I don't have a photo for it, I have to make some to put a photo in there. But that is her butter chicken. So they are two of my favorite recipes. So if I actually click in here, created by me, here we go. I put the ingredients in and I put the steps in. And because I have a TM6, that will come up on the screen of my TM6 to cook. All right. If you have a TM31 or a TM5, you won't be able to cook these from the screen. Well, not that TM31 doesn't have a screen, but TM5, unfortunately, the cookie technology is about 5 years old now, and you won't be able to cook these from the screen. It won't get onto the screen because of the cookie. But that is the little thing about the created recipes. If we just go explore, oh, Kelly, are you ready?
Mandy, I am ready now.
You are?
Yes.
Okay, we'll come back to this in a sec.
Okay, so we've just finished that step. Next step now is to stir the chicken in the Varoma dish to ensure even cooking. So I'm just going to give this a bit of a stir around. Once again, just making sure that the vents, there's some little vents that are uncovered so the steam can get through. Next step is to insert the Varoma tray, which is just a thin tray with air vents through it once again. And I'm now being asked to weigh into the Varoma tray 100 grams of carrots cut into thin strips, 100 grams of broccolini cut into thirds, and 100 grams of cauliflower cut into small florets. I'm just going to tip those into my Varoma. And also to join that, we've got 50 grams of red capsicum cut into thin strips as well. So I'll add those in out of this bowl into the onto the tray. We also need to add 50 grams of brown onion cut into thin wedges. I'm just going to position those along the tray as well, just separating the pieces if they're still, if the wedges are somewhat still jammed together. Secure the Varoma lid, and we'll get going on the next step, which is cooking for another 8 minutes at speed 2. Excellent, Mandy, back to you if you'd like to go, or Pearl.
Yep, back to me. All right, let's have a look at Cookie Do. All right, so this is the home page of Cookie Do. You can start searching in here straight away. It will also recommend recipes for me. I don't have a 6 to 9 month old, so I'm not quite sure why it's recommended that one for me, but maybe it's just the stewed fruit. So there's overnight oats. It's looking at gluten-free recipes basically for me, because that's what I like to do. These are some of the latest recipes. Kelly and I have made this one. Oh my goodness, that is an amazing cocktail. Cookie Do, got little kids, you can actually click in here and you can go through some cooking with them, they get a little certificate. The most cooked things this week or the last few days on Cookie Do are these recipes here. But let's go in, let's just type Varoma, seeing as we are looking at Varoma recipes. All right, and these are recipes, so the Varoma pizza, the natural yogurt. We've got some more yogurt, baby purees. Here we go, a pudding. Some of these meatloafs, they're really great steamed in the Thermomix. There's a really, so yeah, all these, that is amazing. The turkey breast roulade. Black forest pudding looks really good too. So there's a whole lot of recipes that you can actually find on Cookie Do just by putting Varoma in there. I'm just going to get rid of that just for a second. You can search in here by recipes, or you can search by collections. All right, we've got a new collection here, ready for Halloween. Have a quick squiz in there. 10 recipes. It's obviously Mexican style. Oh my goodness, they look seriously gross. But it's quite, I quite like the thing in there. I think as consultants, we sort of have look what new collections arrive, and it's always nice to see what's new. Go back to recipes. Actually, no, I'm going to, sorry, back into collections. I'm just going to put Varoma in there because we will see a few collections come up. Here we go. Entertaining Made Easy, Global Flavors, All-in-One Meals, All-in-One Family Meals. So they will be fabulous flavour every level. They're all Varoma dishes. Steaming, and so on. So not all of these are all Varoma, but they will have Varoma elements to them. Okay, back into the recipes. Now, I don't know if you can see across here, I have some filters. I have Australia, United States, United Kingdom, and English in here. When you get your Thermomix and the cookie dough, you will just have Australia, and you'll need to use these filters to add other countries. So you can scroll down to the bottom and add other countries. Mine are obviously in there already, but you can then make them a default setting, and so that they will automatically come up for you. The other thing with this is that you can then, you can filter. So let's go, we'll go main deals vegetarian because we're not doing anything vegetarian today. So it's going to show us 84 results for Varoma. Main meal vegetarian. I'm going to take Varoma out, see what it gives us now. 546 for vegetarian meals. Okay, you can also in here, if you've got something you want to use up in your fridge, you can pop it in there. It'll come up with ideas for you. If you're gluten-free, dairy-free, you can pop those in there. You can decide on difficulty. I don't worry too much about that. Don't necessarily go for advanced, but total time, I don't worry. Preparation time, I don't worry about, but total time, I might go, you know what, I actually want dinner on the table in 30 minutes. I've still got 104 results to choose from. I might be cooking for 4. I've got 60 things. So I can go in here and have a look at these recipes. You will find that a lot of, oh, it's all vegetarian anyway, but that's amazing, the rendang curry. So you can have a look, and let's just quickly look at this one. I click in here. Then it tells me a little bit more about it. It gives me a bit of an idea about the ingredients. Remembering when you're cooking with your Thermomix, because you're cooking from scratch, it might look like there are a lot of ingredients, but they are things that you will eventually, have in your pantry anyway. Down the bottom here, it also gives you nutritional values. So it's 242 calories, got the protein, it's got the carbs, it's got the fats, and it's got tips and tricks here as well. You might go, that looks really good. I'm going to add that to my week. So I'll pop it in here for Wednesday. Okay. I might also want to add it to a collection, and I'm going to create a collection here, and I'm just going to go AAA because I know it's easy to find. All right. Then I would go back and I would look at all the other recipes that have come up in here and go, oh, actually that one looks really good. I'm going to check that one out. Oh yeah, I like the look of that. I'm going to add that one to that collection. You name the collection as you want it. All right. So if I then go into here, into my recipes, I have some bookmarks. These are recipes that I use a lot. That is a super quick 4-minute porridge, which is delicious. I've got the ghee, which I make all the time. As soon as I've run out of ghee, make some more. Vegetable stock paste. You've got created recipes, and these are collections. These are the ones that I have made myself. So I've got some 30-minute meals in here. I've got a whole heap of different things. I know if I've only got 30 minutes, I'm going to have a busy night, just grab one of these and pop it in my my week, and so on. We go on. Oh, I tell you what, this is one I made. My prep ahead thing I'm making. These are a whole lot of recipes you can actually make from using what I'm doing at the moment as a basis. So it's pretty cool. There's lots of things in there. Quickly go into my week, you can see these are the recipes that we are making today. And I've got a shopping list here. Now, I think I've probably actually taken everything out of that because I've done the shopping. So I'm going to clear it. I'm going to add them back in. So I can go add to shopping list. Let's pop the mussels in there. Let's pop the satay in there. All right. Then I can look at the ingredients in here. And this is one of the things I love about this because it makes it really easy. I can go into my pantry and I can look and go, well, I do need the white wine. I don't need the water. I've got plenty of rice. Obviously going to need the fish, going to need the chicken. I've got olive oil and so on. You click out. So I know I have all those things will be in my pantry because I use them. And then when you come down to the bottom here, you can add extra things in. Now, if you are an online shopper, you can then go up here and you can order your ingredients through Woolworths online. You obviously need an account, but it will come up, you go Woolworths, and it's going to give you some ideas, and you might go, watch, I don't want the CSR, I want something else. You swap it and you just add it to your Woolies cart. So it's a really simple way to save yourself a lot of time and angst by meal planning in advance. On Tuesday night, this coming Tuesday night, I am actually doing a session on cookie dough and meal planning. So at some point I'll get Bern to pop that. There's a link for that. You can pop that in the chat box if you want to register for that. All right, so that's cookie, yeah, that frozen, that Turkish delight cocktail is delicious, vouched for by Kelly and myself. All right, so who are we back to now? Pearl, wonderful.
I've still got 2 minutes to go.
All right, I've just got to do something with mine. So you keep, Irene, entertain us. You can talk about something.
Well, actually, yes. Can you do me a favour? Can you go back to your cookie dough? I just want to show something to people to really put a perspective on these dishes. So if I want you to pick my dish, Mandy, so if you can put my dish into your cart, so into your, so choose the sticky toffee puddings, remove your other recipes. So just clear all, and then just add back the sticky toffee puddings, or just, yep, and then add that, right? Now I want you to go and order ingredients. So this is everything, including the water, mind you, because you're not actually buying the water. But I just want to show people to put it into a reality. So if you can just remove the water, just from, so just roll all the way down and remove the water. Let's remove, it doesn't matter. $43, guys. I can make, so just to put this in perspective, today at Paran Market, when I went for my walk, it was $8.50 for one sticky date pudding. There's enough ingredients in here to probably make about 60 sticky date puddings. So think of that in terms of the cost. So we're talking about less than $1 each. So when we talk about savings with, you know, by having a Thermomix at home, for those that are still thinking, you know, am I going to use it? Can I save some money with it? This is probably one of the biggest things in terms of having a Thermomix on your beach. I'm able to make these, they're fresh, and they're going to cost me less than $1 each. So I don't know how else to, that just puts it in perspective. And I'm talking about how much they're selling them for. I mean, Paran Market's expensive, but I don't know how much everyone else is paying for a sticky date pudding, but $8.50 each they were today. That's my 2 cents worth, Mandy.
Pearl's ready? Okay.
Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So it's just cooling down for 4 seconds. That's another advantage of TM6, that it just doesn't open directly. Now my mussels are steamed, you can see. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is discard the ones that haven't opened. So that's all. And then I'll pour the sauce and I'm done. And another tip is that whenever you're taking something that's steaming, put a Varoma tray underneath so that it doesn't drip all over and make a mess. So I'll just pour this and I'll bring it back to you guys. This.
Back to you, Kelly.
Thanks, Boone. Okay, so we've just finished the cook cycle. So to set the Varoma aside, once again, I'm going to use my lid to rest the Varoma on so that it doesn't get the water all over the bench. It says remove the simmering basket. I'll get the lid off with the use of your spatula.
And for those that are new to the Team 6, there's actually a video on Kelly's screen. So you can actually play those videos to actually show you what to do if you're not, you know, if you're new to Thermomix.
And it's telling me to transfer the rice into a separate thermal serving bowl. So I'm just going to put it into my thermo server to Try not to burn myself at the same time. There we go. And just for clarification, at that last steam, the Thermomix was telling me to run that at speed 2, and I did increase that to speed 4. Okay. Now we'll pop a lid on this because you can probably just see steam at the moment. Okay. So next it says empty the mixing bowl, which I'm going to do. It says place 80 grams of sugar snap peas trimmed and cut into halves. I couldn't get sugar snap peas this week from Coles, so I've used snow peas. So once again, just subbed in what I had in the fridge. Pop in the reserved satay sauce, which you might be able to see, still has the steam coming off that, so it's still nice and warm. Just scrape that out. It says to put in our steamed chicken, which is looking nice and cooked. I'm going to go with my to the side. Add in the steamed vegetables. Off the tray. Put that in there. Insert the measuring cup back into the lid. And we're cooking for another 5 minutes on reverse stirring speed. So not to chop any of the meat or the vegetables up, just to stir it around as it's cooking.
Thanks, Kelly. So back to me, Boo. Thank you. All right. So I've discovered that silver tray takes longer to cook the salmon in. So I've actually done a quick little flip around whilst in the background here, and I've done the other option, and I've wet some parchment paper. Now I've already used this parchment paper. I made a bread thing the other day, and I used the parchment paper. I wash it and I reuse it. I won't reuse it after it's had fish on it. I don't reuse it after it's had chicken on it, but I do after I've just made it's a sort of cakey bread thing. Another little sharing, caring thing over the road in the middle of the week. All right, so that's cooked. That needs a little bit longer to cook. But in the meantime, one of the things I'm going to make with this recipe, and I love this, so I've just got my other Thermomix up and running. And because it's Wi-Fi enabled, my recipes are immediately on here. So the first thing I'm going to do is Vietnamese salad. This is going to be Vietnamese chicken salad, and that's what I'm going to use some of the ingredients from my prep ahead thing in this. So start cooking. I've got placed a bowl on the lid. I had to put some red onions in there. You'll notice this is in ounces, so it's an American recipe. It doesn't matter because the Thermomix will automatically bring up the imperial measurements. All right, 4 ounces of rice vinegar. I've done that. It's sitting in a bowl with a little bit of sugar. That's just to take some of that really, I don't know what you call what that word, but you know how the really sticky bit of the onion. I don't like that. Takes a bit of that. All right, then I've got 3 ounces of peanuts, roughly. They're here. Okay. Lid on. 7 seconds, speed 4. And then I'm going to transfer it to a separate bowl. So I've just done a bit of a chop up of my peanuts, the salad. Sometimes with this, you've got to be a little bit careful that you get anything stuck underneath the blades, because peanuts and things like that means that the blades aren't going to move as well. I've actually got one stuck underneath the blade. So I'm quickly going to take my bowl apart, which is very simple, and just that's it. All right. Next. Now, so this bit is saying 30 ounces litres of water. This is where it's going to steam what's required for this, which is chicken. But I don't need to do that. So I'm going to come into these 3 little dots next to the next sign, and I'm going to go recipe detail. And I'm going to put down here. So that's steaming the chicken. Don't need to do that. So that's all finished. Then I can just literally come in where I need to be. 3 ounces of carrots. Now, quick little tip I learned in the week is if your carrots are looking a little bit floppy, stick them in water for a while and they rehydrate and they're not floppy anymore. Five seconds, speed 5. Asking me to transfer to a large bowl and set aside. Okay, so there's my carrot beautifully chopped up there. Popping that into a big bowl over here. All right. 6 ounces of cabbage. So chopped into pieces. So I've got a big chunk there, big chunk there, might be a little bit over, and 10 fresh mint leaves. So they're all going in. Now on cookie dough, so this is going to go for 4 seconds with speed 4. On cookie dough, if you just type coleslaw into the search, there's a lot of different coleslaws. Okay, so there I've got that chopped up there. Oh, it smells amazing with that mix. Got a little bit that didn't chop so well at the bottom there. Pop that back in. And then I've got to put other. This is another little lesson when you're converting your own recipes. Sometimes less is more. Sometimes you're better off putting 2 batches of something in rather than 1 big batch. We're covering that next weekend as well. Put it on. 4 seconds, speed 4. Okay, chopped up again. It's going in there. Now it's asking me for the cool chicken. Well, my chicken is still cooking, so I can come to that in just a second. I'll just scrape this out. It's just about finished, so I will just scrape the rest of this out. Always good when you're scraping things out is to push to the bottom and then go around in a clockwise direction. All right. So I'm just going to move this back a little bit and we're going to take the everything that's been steamed off there. So again, always, whenever you're taking the lid off your Varoma, always tilt it away from you so the steam goes away. My fish is beautifully cooked now, so that's good. Take that off. I've got my eggs in here. They're cooked. I'm just going to put them in some cold water. I'm going to put my beans in some cold water so they don't cook anymore as well. Okay, that's done. And then I'm going to remove the chicken. And I'm going to check the chicken is cooked. So again, like the others were doing, just using, well, like Kelly was using the spatula here. Let's take that out. Yeah, my chicken is cooked. All right, so now my chicken is going to go into the other one here. And I'll just move this out of the way, but I don't know if you can probably see, if you can see, no, you can't see well enough. I don't want to tip it all over my laptop. But I now have about a bit over a litre of beautiful chicken stock to use in a soup recipe in the next week. All right, so my cold chicken, well, it's not really cold. My chicken is in there. What's my lid? And this is a really, really great tip, this one. You put your lid on, so the chicken is cooked, it's in chunks. 4 seconds, speed 4, on reverse will shred your chicken. So you know, none of this, you know, pulling apart or anything like that. It's look at that. See how it's all shredded? So I'm just going to leave that with the lid on because I don't really want to put it to my cabbage at this point in time. It's still warm. What else do I have to do? Add the reserved onions with the soaking liquid, and so these are the onions that I soaked before. I'm actually going to just plate up a little bit of it on a plate because we're not going to eat this till probably tomorrow for lunch, and I don't want it all soggy. Yes. Boone, can you pop? I think I put the Vietnamese chicken salad recipe in on the running sheet. If you could share that in the.
Sure. Okay.
That would be fantastic. Thank you. So I'm just going to place a little bit of it up on something here. But I'm meant to be adding the chicken to my coleslaw, and as I said, I don't want to make it all soggy at this point in time. If you like your coleslaw a bit less chunky, you can chop it for longer. I'm going to put a little bit of this on. The onions and that in there. And then a little bit of olive oil. Okay. Okay, and the chicken transfer to a serving platter. Place a small bowl onto the mixing bowl, lid, and add 1 teaspoon of sugar, 2 ounces of fish sauce. So I've done all that in here. And some chili sliced up on some lime juice. Now, just a little tip, if you're anything like me, what I do, I find at this time of the year, or, you know, when limes are in season, get a whole lot of them, juice them and freeze them. So these were actually, I put 3 ice cubes of lime in there for that. Remove the bowl, add 2 fresh bird's eye chilies and stir to combine and set aside. So it's asking you to, I've just put a little bit of chicken on here to show you. So I'm going to pop a little bit of chicken on here. Obviously, that's going to be tossed through. And yeah, you would normally wait till it's cold. All right, garnish chicken coleslaw with reserved chopped peanuts. So remember we chopped those peanuts a little bit earlier on. And mint leaves. There's my peanuts. I put a few of those on. And it's actually also some of these dried onions. So that's one of the things that you can make with that prep ahead chicken, eggs, and salmon recipe. All right. Now, bear with me. Right. Bear with me as I just move over another bowl. Okay. So I'm just going to pop this on here. I've got my my salmon down here. I'm going to get out of this recipe, and the way you can cancel a recipe is, again, those 3 dots, cancel recipe. All right, yes, I want to cancel that. Because the other recipe that I'm making here is salmon Nicoise salad. All right, so start cooking. Again, I'm going to miss some of this because I've already done some of it. So I'm going to come down here, place water into the mixing bowl, put the Varoma in position, and add your salmon fillets in there. And then you're going to weigh beans in there. So remember, I cooked beans in with my eggs. Okay. Further cooking is required. Reinsert serving basket because also you have potatoes, but as we're dieting, we're not having potatoes. Okay. Now give it to cool. Clean and dry the mixing bowl. Place 1 shallot. I'm actually using a bit of a spring onion, and 4 anchovy fillets. That's going in there. Lid on. 3 seconds, speed 5. both sides. So that's all just chopped up in there. Pushing it all down to the bottom. Then I'm going to add half a teaspoon of caster sugar and some Dijon mustard. Okay. 40 grams of lemon juice, which is in this container, plus 20 grams of olive oil. So I'm making the dressing for the salad. Sure all that Dijon gets down in there. 5 seconds speed 6. Season with salt and pepper to taste. Okay. And then I'm basically going to be putting this together. So I'm going to flake, I'll do all this whilst we're looking at everybody else's what they've made. I'm going to flake my salmon, add it to a bowl with no potatoes, but beans. Place a bowl on the mixing bowl lid and weigh in cherry tomatoes, which I've got already sorted, and some black olives. Transfer into a large bowl, add some spring onions and the eggs on top. And then you can pop the dressing on. So that's, I'm going to do all that whilst we come back and look at Kelly's satay, and we'll go around and have a look and see what's happening in everybody's kitchen.
Okay, so if we can see there, we've got our easy chicken satay. So jasmine rice, a whole lot of yummy veggies, and the chicken, and obviously a really beautiful colour to that dish as well. Pearl.
Thanks, Kelly. This is my spicy mussels in tomato sauce, which looks really yummy. I can't wait to eat it. And nice and colorful as well.
An empty plate because mine's not ready yet. About a minute and a half to go. So you can watch me plating it in a bit. But
well, we can ask if there's any
you haven't
questions
eaten it all up? You're sure you haven't eaten it all up?
Promise, they're still cooking. Minute and 20 to go.
Got any questions? That's a good time for questions.
Yeah, pop it into the chat box.
Or if you want to come off mute, come off mute. Sorry, I'm just trying to fiddle away here in the background. So who uses their Varoma? Or who's learned something and would like to try one of these recipes? Nobody's learned anything.
They're all very quiet.
They are very quiet.
Let's how about some of our other favorite dishes. I really like the salmon veloute, or it's called chicken veloute. Maybe Boone can find the recipe. So chicken veloute. So it's basically 2.2 litres of potato and leek soup. I do ribbon vegetables. So I just get a potato peeler and just slice my carrots, my zucchini, fill up the Varoma, the deep dish. And in the top, I use salmon. You can do chicken with tarragon, but I love the salmon and dill. Dill's Boone's favourite. She's giggling in the background. That's my favourite, and that dish is literally on the table in 16 minutes. So really, really quick and easy to prepare. Definitely one of my favourites.
And you also get a soup with it too.
Get a soup. Yep.
Yeah.
They're ready. Okay. Should we be ready for the reveal? So
Go
remember,
for it.
always face the Varoma away from you so you don't steam your to get a facial.
Yeah.
Okay, down. You see those? We're about to plump over.
Oh,
so in
yeah.
terms of filling them, they were roughly just over halfway, so roughly to about there. So don't fill it to the top because you can see they actually go almost like a souffle, and they come up above. So I'm going to pop one out. This is putting me on the spot. Let's see if they're cooked. Asbestos fingers, guys. Here's a towel. You're a bit hot. I just run, these silicone ones are really good. So a little bit of spray will help them. Obviously, do not spray them, because I think that you do tend to stick a tiny bit. Okay. No, not quite. Let's push it down the bottom a little bit more.
We're expecting perfection. It's you, Irene.
No pressure.
No pressure.
Oh, I think I passed the test, Mandy.
Yeah. Oh, you have passed the test. Amazing.
Okay, my sauce. I'm just going to move the camera down so I'm not having to hold it. I can't really do that. I need 3 sets of hands. So my sauce is really lovely and thick now. So it does need that time to cool. To help speed it along, I actually popped it in the freezer. And so you can see it's lovely and thick.
Yeah.
And I strongly recommend you double the sauce. It's the bit everyone goes back to. But a pass.
You do. That's absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Really well. Now, I still did exactly what Kelly did earlier. So I pre-boiled the water in the kettle. I still let it cook for that time. I'm going to slice through this just so we can have a look. So the consistency-wise, they're definitely not overcooked.
Oh.
They're lovely and sticky. I won't eat on camera.
Oh, so hungry.
They smell delicious. So give them a go. And there's another gorgeous recipe called lemon citrus cupcakes. I use lemon zest and orange zest. And when I make the syrup, very similar to this, I use orange juice and lemon juice. And they're a coconut cream based or coconut milk based version. Divine. So definitely give those a go. They're called citrus cupcakes.
Wonderful. Thank you. All right, Boone, I'm ready.
Okay.
Racing around, and I have another salad to show you. So this is the salmon Nicoise salad. So I hope you can see how many ways you can use that prep ahead layered chicken, eggs, and salmon. And I hope you get as enthusiastic about it as me. I don't know if it's still just me that loves that recipe, but I just think it's amazing. And I've got all that beautiful stock to use in a soup. So first of all, before we leave you, yes, we have cookie dough on Tuesday night, 8 o'clock. If anybody wants to come along, meal planning, very practical. You can have your cookie dough up in the background, and we will make organise some meals, a meal plan for you. And then next Sunday, we are at 4 o'clock. We are doing our recipe conversion. I'm just saying, City wants to be your neighbour, Irene. And I would really, I'd like to thank all the girls for being here. They're always amazing, and they're always happy to give up time to help support you guys as well. And particularly to Kelly for stepping in and being part of the team, even if it's only for an hour and a quarter.
Thank you for having me. It's been good fun. Thanks.
Excellent. All right. If anybody got any other questions, remember, if you want to know anything more about the special deal that's coming out on Wednesday, contact your consultant. Yeah, Cookie Dough 3.0 comes out in the middle of November, around about the 16th of November. It'll be access to everybody who's got a Cookie Dough account. And oh yeah, current gift with purchase, we have no, wait till Wednesday. Wait till Wednesday and talk to your consultant. Do not buy before Wednesday. All right, but your consultant will tell you what the deal is. But I need to post this on YouTube, and I'll be in big trouble if I mention it. But absolutely get back to your consultant. All right. Thank you so much for coming. Hope to see you. If anyone's got any other questions, please. Quick question. Parchment paper is different from baking paper. Let me show you. So it's called parchment baking paper. I don't know if you can see that. I'll just spotlight myself again. This.
You will find compostable baking paper, essentially. It's available at every supermarket now as well.
It's a brown colour, but you can compost it, whereas the other just has to go in the rubbish, so it gets just into landfill. No, this is actually from, it's called If You Care.
You can find it, Karen. Probably not the brand that she's got, but I actually saw some at Woolies the other day. They were actually doing green parchment now at Woolworths.
Fantastic.
So
Thank you.
yeah, it's great. It's really
Thanks,
good.
Zoe. Yeah, no, just really important. I mean, I'm sure you're all over it, but you know, plastic is around for 1,000 years, and yeah, so try and avoid as much as possible. All right. Any other questions? The other thing is we can't necessarily use it there, but you know, there are some amazing silicone liners for trays for baking from the mix shop. I'll actually grab one up. I've got a couple of those as well. Little one for the little rose gold tray, but these are available in three or four different sizes on the mix shop, and they are fantastic because they're just reusable.
Oh, just a tip with those, guys, don't do what I did, and I actually cooked onions and garlic on one, because then that smell stays in those. So make sure you separate your baking ones from your roasting ones, because you don't want your cookies smelling and tasting like garlic, I'm sure.
Great tip. Thanks, Irene. Okay, so hopefully we'll see you next weekend, all about converting your own recipes. Really important for Cookie Do 3.0. And as I said, welcome to join me Tuesday night at 8 o'clock.
And it's not just the Cookie Do 3.0, it's just even just knowing how to convert your own recipes.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
even if you don't want to use,
coming next week. We'll hope to see you all there.
Yeah, and we've got Rachel Gray coming along. She's written a beautiful book. She converted all her mother's recipes into Thermomix. So it's absolutely done for you. And she is coming along to give us her tips about that too, which is fantastic. Okay, thanks guys. Thanks for coming along.
Thanks, Mandy. Thank you.